Hi, everybody. My name's Jennifer Wildman, and this is EDOL 722, Assignment 3.1, The Danger of a Single Story. I did a little PowerPoint just so you didn't have to just watch me talking, and I had some pictures already that were easy to get, so I decided to do it this way. I am 55 years old, and I live in Hollister, California, and I am a unique person, and I would like to tell you a little bit about me. This is me as a 1-year-old. I was born into a military family. My dad was in the Air Force, and my parents lived in Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, when I was born. We soon moved to Grand Forks, North Dakota, and so I lived for a few years in North Dakota, and that's where my little sisters were born. And so we had a very traditional military family, and my parents, Phil and Edna, were pretty traditional. My dad had 9 brothers and sisters. My mom had 1 sister. My mom yearned for family. She had a really rough childhood where her mother died young, and then her subsequent stepmothers were alcoholics. And so she did our family trees, and family was definitely a focus of growing up. However, as I got a little bit older, my parents got a divorce, and that was a big and important time in my life because I'd never known anyone who had had a divorced set of parents. And so it kind of broke apart all my expectations of what family was supposed to be. And here my parents were so strongly holding on to family, but now they were divorced. And to top it off, I think because of the economy at the time, my dad actually moved into a travel trailer that was behind our house, and lived in this travel trailer. And he also worked at night at that point. He was a corrections officer at the sheriff's department, so he often was asleep during the day. In retrospect, I actually put this sign up that stories can break the dignity of a people, but they can also repair that broken dignity, because I was really embarrassed that my parents were divorced. And I remember friends would come over and ask me, "Hey, where's your dad?" And I would have to say, "I don't know. I'm not sure where he is," because I wasn't sure if he was at work or if he was back in the trailer sleeping, if he wasn't in the house. And that was hard for me. And I think out of it, what I realized later as I've grown up and gotten to tell myself a different story, is that my dad stuck around, not just because of the economy, but he stuck around because he loved us. And even though my parents didn't get along, they had a terrible relationship. My mom allowed him to stay out and back too. And so the two of them kind of fed each other in this way and kept each other together, because I think that they didn't want to lose that picture of a family that we all had, and what it meant to be a normal family. So these are my sisters. My older sister was in the former picture, but these are my 2 little sisters, Mary and Susie. My older sister is Debbie. She's 12 years older than I am, so she left the house a little bit earlier than obviously the rest of us did. We were definitely expected to grow up and do the same thing my parents did and have a traditional family, go to college. Education was very important to my parents. We were expected to take a traditional career. I don't think anybody ever said you have to be a teacher or a law enforcement agency or a secretary, but pretty much that's what my parents expected, and we knew it. So we all did go to college and get our BAs. My little sister Susie got her teaching credential, but now she's a stay-at-home mom. She never taught. My sister Mary was a law enforcement agent. She was actually a customs inspector. And then my older sister Debbie was a teacher, and I became a teacher and now an educational administrator. So we sort of followed the traditional path that we were supposed to. I also got married and had 2 great kids, Caleb and Lindsay, but I realized that that wasn't going to be the path for me at about age 35. And I got a divorce, and I met my partner, Steph. My partner, Steph's in the top left-hand corner up there. That is our house in Hollister. My kids are with us on the right-hand side on a very rainy day hike there. My partner is not a stepmom to my kids, but she loves them, and she's an important part of my family. And and they love her right back. Here's a little day trip down in the bottom left-hand corner to the mystery spot. As it turns out, my two kids are also very different. My son's a lot more traditional, and my daughter is actually a lesbian. She came out a few years ago, and that's her partner Kay on the right-hand side there. So we also have made an untraditional family. So I think what I wanted to say is that when you look into somebody's life, that it's really easily done. A thing that you can do easily is to expect them to be like everybody else. But I've definitely learned that it's important to take a closer look. And also, I've learned that just because something is expected doesn't mean that it's actually normal, that normal is whatever you are and whoever you are. And so families can be in all kinds of shapes and sizes. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.